here we are. It's been a month already. It's time for the next Q&A. As I always say at the beginning of these videos, if you want to know as soon as the next Q&A is happening, you can either A, join the Discord, or B, just kind of stay like up to date with the YouTube community tab. First, we'll start out with the Discord questions. These first couple of questions coming from Ryden Rev over in Discord. First question is, do you know who Pyrocynical is? Honestly, no, I do not. Like, I've heard the name before, but no, I don't know. His next question is, what's a game you wish everyone would play besides RE4? Ooh, okay, so I could either go with a AAA game, or I could go with an indie game. For this video, we're gonna go with an indie game. The game is called A Memoir Blue. If you haven't played it before, it's just, ooh, it is an absolutely beautiful game. It shouldn't take you anything more than maybe like an hour or so to beat, but it is an absolutely beautiful game, and I cannot recommend it enough. His next question, rate Starfield 1 to 10? 10. Immediately. Starfield was an absolute masterpiece. Please, everyone, play it. I've already beaten the main story in the game, and I mean, I'm still playing the game. It is absolutely amazing. His next question is rate Armored Core 6 1 to 10. Again, another 10. That was another one where, like, as soon as I picked it up, I could not put it down. Like, ooh, I know Armored Core hasn't always been the most popular series. Like, I don't even know if any of the previous games have even broken 1 million copies. I know this one will break 1 million if it hasn't already. Like, this one definitely will be, like, the best-selling Armored Core game just because From Software has that name for themselves now. But please, if you haven't tried Armored Core before, this is a great, like, hopping off point or jumping off point or, you know, a good place to dive in. His next question, why did you used to sleep on the floor after school? Oh, okay, so this was something that happened during, like, elementary school, maybe middle school. And this mainly happened after I had first moved, but like basically I had this setup going where I had like a sleeping bag set up in front of my TV, so I'd be like laying on the floor and either just like playing games or watching YouTube or like playing on my iPod or something like that, and then I just end up kind of like crashing on the floor, even though my bed was right next to me, just because like with the way that my room was set up, it was just like, you know, chilling on the sleeping bag was more comfortable for when I was gaming. What's your opinion on hoagies? I mean, you spelled it incorrectly, by the way. It's actually Hoagies. You spelled it Hogeys, but grammar aside, hoagies are good. Normal versus golden Oreos, they're both great. I can't choose one. Undertale versus Deltarune. I'd say Undertale just because that was the OG one, but Deltarune so far is pretty good too. Would you rather have Risk of Rain 3 or Terraria 2? Risk of Rain 2 just came out not that long ago, right? I'd say Terraria 2. These next couple of questions coming from Ank, also in Discord, saying, do you like DJ Khaled? I mean, yeah, like, I like his music. I mean, like, it's hard because, like, DJ Khaled, right? He's put out a couple of albums, and I like the albums that he puts out. But, you know, obviously he doesn't really do he just kind of, like, takes different artists and puts them all together. So, in that aspect, yeah, I mean, I like his music. I like the projects that he's made. Thoughts on Utopia? What's that? Would you rather get calf kicked or hooked in the liver? Calf kicked. Legs for arms or arms for legs? Probably arms for legs. Hands for feet or feet for hands? Definitely hands for feet. How much money to get you out of content creation? Literally none, because when you think about it realistically, I could theoretically make an infinite amount of money through content creation, whereas a fixed set of money will be just that, a fixed set of money. This next question coming again from Ryden Rev, who says, opinions on the movie Rush Hour? That movie is gold. And then the next question coming from Softcore Alex saying, what made you want to start being a YouTuber? I've just always loved not only gaming, but also just like creating like videos and like movies and such. Like back in the day, right, before YouTube was really even like a really popular thing, I used to like making these like stop motion videos with like my Lego sets, and I also used to like messing around with like iMac on like those old Macs back in the day. Like I remember there was like this all-in-one Mac. I can't even remember what year it was from. It was like maybe like late 90s, early 2000s, but it was like this old Mac, and it had iMovie on it. I always used to love like messing around on that, so that was kind of like what. Yeah, it was kind of like the what kickstarted my love for just like creating like video type content, and then furthermore, I've always loved gaming. And then when YouTube became a really popular thing, I started creating videos back in roughly 2000 something, 2008, 2009. I remember I made a couple of videos with my friends, and then we kind of like uploaded them, and that was just that, you know, we were just doing it for fun. And then I've done it occasionally throughout the years on many different channels. Some of those videos are still out there somewhere. Most of them probably taken down or privated. And then finally I decided I'm gonna do it till I make it. And then I started this channel back in the summer of 2020. I started uploading daily. I have not missed a single day since, and well, here we are now. Next up, this question comes from Jason over in the YouTube comments on the YouTube community tab, and it says, have you ever had a moment where the lore of a piece of media finally clicked for you? I would say that happened with Dark Souls, because with Dark Souls, right, I started playing the games, and just like most people, where you're going in blind, you have absolutely no idea what's happening. But then you have those moments where you like slow down and you read a couple item descriptions and you go, wait a minute, that person, I've heard that name before. Oh, that was that boss that I killed. Or like, wait, that boss was this person? Or I didn't know that these people were related. Like, Elden Ring, for example. For me, like, Elden Ring, it's one of those things where the game is so massive that I've never actually tried to learn the entire lore of the game, just because it's one of those things where, like, I love Elden Ring, but I'm more of a Souls guy anyway, so it's one of those things where, yeah, I love Elden Ring, but, from the lore that I've heard, it's one of those things where I haven't actually really tried to get too invested in it, because while it's cool, it's just one of those things where if I'm gonna sit down and watch a bunch of Vadi videos, I'd rather just go back and kind of like watch the Dark Souls ones, because there's a lot of lore there for me to learn yet. Don't get me wrong, I love Elden Ring. It's a fun game, but it's just I'm more of a Souls guy. You know what I mean? That's more like my type of game, at least when it comes to From Software games. But Elden Ring, I did have a couple of moments of that regardless, where I was in Liurnia of the Lakes. It's up towards, I don't remember, I think it's called the Church of Owls. It might not be, but there's like this giant turtle there. And I remember it wasn't even my first time playing the game. It was on New Game Plus something, but I went up there and I talked to this turtle, and he was like talking about like Renala and Radagon and Marika and all this stuff. And I was like, wait, all this stuff is connected. And then like the Great Wolf and all that. And that's when it clicked for me, like, oh, Great Wolf of Radagon. Like, I'd beaten the game like 3 times at that point, and it never clicked for me that was, even related to Radagon in any way, even though it's literally in the name of that boss's name. So that's definitely happened to me a couple of times. It's kind of happened just mainly with like From Software games, where it's one of those things where like either I didn't know what the lore or the story was before, or it just really wasn't connecting with me on a personal level for a while until I started to really seek it out and either like watch videos on it or like read some of the item descriptions or talk to the NPCs. Because I always talk to NPCs in the Souls games, but a lot of times, like, unless you're actively following a guide, it's hard to actually follow their quest through to the end and get all of their story or hear more of the dialogue that ties into like the overarching story. I love From Software games, but yeah, let's be honest. If you're not following that guide beat for beat on your first couple playthroughs or even any playthrough, it's going to be hard to figure that stuff out. Like the whole like 30 humanity thing for like Solaire's quest, for example. And then finally, this last question coming from Lilith X that says, what do you find the most challenging about YT and the most rewarding? So I would say the most challenging part would be creating content that I know people would care about, right? Because when I make content about what I care about, which is why there's videos on this channel where you can literally scroll through, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. There's some of my recent videos where they literally have as low as like 30 views. And then I have other videos that skyrocket up into the thousands. So and even to that extent, like I wouldn't even necessarily say that for me it's challenging. It's just more so like, sometimes I simply don't know, because, YouTube, I've said this many times before, and a bunch of other YouTubers have said it before, YouTube really isn't about luck or whatever. Like, it really does just come down to skill and your knowledge of the platform. And if I wanted to, I could easily average thousands and thousands and thousands of views every single video like I used to almost a year ago. But the fact of the matter is, I'd rather just create content that I'm happy with, because, like, for me, I don't care about the views, I don't care about the money, I just care about people coming and watching videos that they enjoy. Because for me, the money with YouTube really doesn't matter. Sure, I do make money off of YouTube, but I have multiple other revenue, like, sources set up. Like, it's never going to be one of those things where YouTube is my only source of revenue, therefore I have to sell out for the money or the views. Like, no, I have a bunch of other things that I can fall back and rely on, and a lot of other things that I actually do rely on to, keep me afloat. But all that being said, yeah, I do find that to be one of the more challenging or more like head scratcher things with YouTube. Like, when I'm creating content, yeah, I can create what I want to see or what I want to make, but like, is this actually what other people want to see? And then the other part, what's the most rewarding? Honestly, as cliche as this may sound, just being able to entertain people. That's one of the main things that I've always like wanted to do with YouTube anyway, or that was like one of the main things that got me into it, was just like helping other people, because like I know how it feels coming home from a long day of work, school, whatever it is, and just feeling absolutely terrible. Let's be honest, just being like, dude, like I don't want to do this for another day. I want to escape from it all. And then you just flip on YouTube or you flip on like whatever, and you just find that one video that makes you laugh or makes you feel better. And it's like, it's that one thing where it's like, man, I really needed that. And that's what I try to do with all my videos. Again, that's why I always try to make videos that I want to make, because like I could easily sell out and get thousands of views on a video and make like the most lifeless, soulless, like sellout content in the world. And
I could get all these views, I could get all this money, but at the end of the day, the content would just be stale, lifeless, and it wouldn't have any soul, and it wouldn't be for anything. So I'd rather make videos that I want to make where I'm truly happy and passionate about what I'm making, and where like that passion and that happiness really comes through to the viewer, you know what I'm saying? So it feels more personal and it's more entertaining. And to me, that's like the most rewarding part about YouTube, is building those more personal connections with my viewers, and furthermore being able to entertain them and, you know, hopefully help them smile after a really terrible day. Or hey, it doesn't even have to be a terrible day. Even if they had a good day, I like entertaining people. I like making them smile. I like making them feel good. I like making them think. But anyway, that's all the questions that we got for this Q&A. So again, if you want to be featured in the next Q&A, either join the Discord server, which there's a link in the description of every single video. I had some people telling me that the link wasn't working a couple of times, so I may have to update it. I'm not sure. I'll check it and, you know, update it before this video goes up. So you'll be able to use the link in the description, or you can just keep your eye on the YouTube community tab. I'll always update you guys over there. Anyway, as always, a massive shout out and thank you to all the Patrons and channel members. Thank you to all of you in the low baller tier, and even bigger shout out and thank you to all of you in the big baller tier, Middle Alaskan, and Big Daddy Matty, and the biggest shout out and thank you to all of you in the G tier, Run Adventures, and the Cheese Girl. Thank you guys so much. You guys are literal legends. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.